Welcome to the Gospel Road. Today, we're going to look at Psalms 16. And I know it's still pretty much a long weekend for most, day after the 4th. It says, "Preserve me, O God, for in you I take refuge. I say to the Lord, you are my Lord. I have no good apart from you. As for the saints in the land, they are the excellent ones, in whom is all my delight. The sorrows of those who run after another god shall multiply. Their drink offerings of blood I will pour out, or take their names on my lips. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. I bless the Lord who gives me counsel. In the night also my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, and I will not be shaken. Therefore my heart is glad, and my whole being rejoices. My flesh also dwells secure. For you will not abandon my soul to Sheol, and let your Holy One see corruption. You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Psalm 16. I like that part. Verse 10, it says, "For you will not abandon my soul." I remember growing up hearing a lot about the whole tough love thing. Just tough love, just turn your back on them, and they got to figure it out because they're adults and they need to buck up. Not sure that that's always the right answer. It's the same thing. Think about that at work. If you're a manager and you're trying to help somebody learn, do you just turn your back and go, you know what, you got to figure it out on your own. I'm not going to help you. Now, I'm not saying that hasn't happened, especially with me. Learning under fire. That's always a great way to learn, isn't it? But, think about that. When you're sitting at work and you're going through training, do you abandon someone? No. Now, at times, it all happens that you're trying to learn as much as you can, and some people, they just can't get it. They're not able to really follow along, and maybe it's just not the right thing for them. So then you help them to figure out something that's going to be better for them. Maybe it's just not a job that they can do. It's kind of like beyond their concept. I know there's things that it's just not what I do. It's not in what my brain can, handle, can conceive, can really put together. And I can do a lot of different things if I put my mind to it. And we all can. It just depends on how bad you want to do that. Maybe it's just something that just is no interest to you. So it's time to move on and look for something that really can fulfill you when you're doing that. They always say a job you love is a job you never have to work at. For you will not abandon my soul. How many times have we sat there and abandoned somebody because of what they're going through, because of what they're doing, because of just their life in general? And we're talking friends, family, churches. A church that has turned their back on somebody because they're not doing what they feel is right and they're not changing as fast as they can. See, that's just something over the years I've learned not to agree with, that I completely understand, especially when we have a God who loves us unconditionally. No matter where we are, he is going to meet us. He'll meet us halfway. He'll meet us 3/4 of the way. He's there with his arms open to bring us back. And think about a manager that you've had to deal with at a job. One that just turns their back on you and doesn't help you, compared to the one that's there to help you understand, to really give you the tools to help you do the best that you can do in the position that you're in. Which is one that works better for you? Do you want to be abandoned? Or do you want to be helped? Do you want somebody to come alongside you and support you and say, here's what we need to do? How can we figure this out? We've got a problem here. We need to figure out how we can solve this issue and move forward to be a success for you. You being successful makes me look successful, which then makes the company look successful. Being a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, I mean, what has that really done by turning your back on somebody because they're going through a hard time in their life? I've had friends, and I'm not saying I haven't done it, and I've had friends in my life that I've pretty much turned my back on and just said, I'm done. I'm washing my hands. There's not much I can do. And they've kind of went downhill even farther because there was nobody else there to help them either. Now, there's always the catch because they have to be willing to make those changes to really better themselves. Just like me being at a job, I need to be willing to take the steps I need to do that job better. If I'm not willing to do it, well, again, there's a problem. But then again, that's a completely different conversation that you need to have with them. What's that conversation that you need to go, you're not really applying yourself here. Why are you not applying yourself? And what do we need to do to maybe change that? What can we do to maybe figure something different? Do you need to go to a different department? Maybe this isn't just the best for you. Love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love others like Christ loved the church. Love yourself. Love yourself enough that you're wanting to make a change in your life to be a better person. Love someone enough to help them be that better person. It's always about being that best person, the best that you can be. And abandoning someone is not a way that's going to help them be that best person. I know what it's like. I've been abandoned by people. They've turned their back and said, I'm done. I can't deal with you. I'm not saying that I'm an easy one to deal with either. I will honestly say I'm not an easy one to deal with. But I also am not. Being abandoned makes it even harder when you're trying to change something, when you're trying to move forward. I mean, I've been dealing with things for so many years and things are finally starting to turn around and look different for me, which feels odd. I'll be honest, it feels weird. It feels completely out of culture for me of what I've been dealing with for 30 years. And now I don't have to. It's just different. I will not abandon you. God will not abandon me. It's really something to be thought of. What's that portion? What is being filled in that cup? What are you moving forward to? Where's that next step? Who are you helping to get to that? Now, you can't say if somebody walks away from you that they kind of abandon that. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, if somebody walks away and they're like, I don't want your help, I'm done, I'm out, and they checked out. And that can't be helped. Because again, that was a choice that they made. But I know for me, my choice when it comes to my family and my friends, and I've been really put down many times, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to abandon them. I'm going to do my best to help them the best that I can. I'm not saying I can do everything, because I can't. And sometimes I have a problem with that, thinking that, I really stretch myself thin, thinking I can do so much more than what I actually can. And I have to be careful with that. We all have to be careful with that. But I'm going to love unconditionally, and I'm going to try and help people to be the best that they can be, as I'm trying to be the best that I can be. And I fail, and I will always fail, because I'm not perfect. But I'm going to do the best that I can to be the best that I can be. As I always share, read this for yourself. Psalm 16. That's what we're looking at on the Gospel Road today. And how is it that you can apply this to your life? What is it really saying to you with where you are in your career, in your position, in your personal life? I know I mentioned something yesterday that my professional life is going so much better than my personal life. I don't always deal with people the best way, but I try to do my best. And I fail, but I try. Annoys people, but I try. I get annoyed, but I try. No one ever said life was easy. If everyone ever said that life was easy, then yeah, don't listen to that, because it's not. Life is hard. Life is a challenge. Obstacles come along. Things happen that are out of our control. And then we have to figure out the best way to deal with that, and how that being dealt with us, we need to move forward with that. Because there's some things we just can't change. I have no control of that. I cannot change what has been handed me. But how am I going to react to the way I will deal with that? How am I going to react of how I'm going to move forward? Where will I let that affect me? How will I let it affect me? Will I not let it affect me and allow it to be that scar in my life that is helping me to be that better person? Because sometimes, there's that song by I Am They. Scars. Those scars really can be a blessing. They can help. They can grow you. As I was told once by a program director once, you never have a bad job. Because even the bad job, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn how not to do something. Or you're going to learn a better way to do something. Even the great job, you're still going to learn. You're going to learn the good ways of how to do things. Toby Mac, scars are part of living. It's not exactly how the title goes, but, scars come with living. They do. Life is not easy. But how I am going to allow them to affect me as I'm moving forward, that's on me. And I have to make that choice. You lose a job, how are you going to let that affect you? Are you going to hold a grudge for the rest of your life? Or are you going to say, you know what? I've lost jobs. And I know for a while I did. I held a grudge because of that. But then I realized it was actually a blessing that I lost it, because I was killing myself for nothing. And I just started moving forward, because that's what I had to do. Psalm 16, read that for yourself. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.